In this video, we will be talking about document 3. Let's go back to our question and remember, we are trying to determine if the Brazilian government should develop the Amazon rainforest. You should be coming up with a yes or no answer. Now, document 3 deals with Brazil's agricultural production, and we will be looking at how Brazil uses its land to grow different crops in different areas. Let's remember in every document that we want to try to determine what sort of category it will fit in. Is this an economic factor, a political factor, or a social factor? In most cases, what we see from document 3 is that this seems to be an economic factor. Also, we want to make sure that we are practicing good annotation skills. So the first thing we always want to look at is what is the source of the document. In this case, we see that this is from kidscornerbrazil.org, content/economy. Now, we know that this is a credible source because it has that .org right here. And so we're going to highlight that to make sure that we know what we're working with. So here I am highlighting it right now. You should be doing this also on your paper. The other thing that we see is that there's a document note that goes along with this. Our document note states that there are 347,490 square miles of farmable land in Brazil. And that is without counting one single inch of the 350 million of the Amazon rainforest. Brazil is also the world's largest coffee, sugar, and alcohol producer, and is second in soybean and corn. So we see that there are other things that they grow in this area. Apart from being the third largest fruit producer, Brazil is the world's second largest producer of beef and 6.6 million tons per year, and has the largest commercial herd numbering 170 million heads. And it is also the second largest world producer of poultry and 5.5 million tons a year, figures among the 10 largest in swine segment, and 1.9 million tons a year. The production of sheep, goat, and buffalo is equally significant. So we see that there are many different areas in which Brazil is growing and using this farmland for. When it talks about poultry, we're talking about chicken, we're talking about swine, we're talking about pig. All of these are grown and raised on farms, which would fit into that agricultural industry. All right, so now that we understand a little bit about the source and the document notes, now we want to start answering the questions. We know that the map that we are looking at here is of Brazil. It is cut out from South America and just giving us the Brazilian borders. Also down here we see the total annual production of sugarcane, cotton, oranges, wheat, beans, soybeans, coffee, and corn. And then you can also see the areas of which it's grown. Now, the first question asks us on this map to circle where the Amazon rainforest is located. And so we're going to do that right now. We see that the Amazon rainforest is located into this area right here. Give me a minute while I just make that with a no fill. And now we should be able to see just the outline here for us. And then again, we have the shape fill that I have to deal with. So now we can see that the Amazon rainforest is located in this area right up in here. So let's look at number 2 then. Is all of Brazil's farmland in the Amazon rainforest? No. And we can see that right from up here, that 347,490 square miles of farmland is not in there. So we're going to put that in there. 347,490 square miles are not in the rainforest. And we can also see from the map that much of the farmland seems to be to the south and to the east. As a matter of fact, we don't see much farming going on in this area, except for in this area closer to the coast where most of Brazil's population is at. Number 3, what is the main idea of this article? Based on everything that we see from the reading, from the document notes, and also from this map, it seems to us that they should be growing stuff elsewhere, and that there's plenty of other things being grown in this portion of Brazil, so why do they need to use that rainforest? So based on that, and based on everything that we've seen here, we can now go down to our chart and start looking at it and saying, okay, should the Brazilian government develop the rainforest? Now, this is probably one of those documents that we can use both ways. All right, clearly we can say no. Economically speaking, there's not much going on there right now, so we should continue to develop other areas. We can also say economically yes. The rainforest is wide open. With plenty of land, while the other areas seem to already be crowded. So this is one of those documents that we can use both ways. Now, one thing I do want you guys to remember is when we talked about our reading and we looked at the settlers, one of the paragraphs of the settlers said to us that as native Amazonians learned long ago, farming in the rainforest is difficult. The thin soil is surprisingly poor in nutrients, the substances that make the field fertile. Constant rainfall soon washes away whatever nutrients the soil once contained. As the soil loses its fertility, the amount of food it can produce shrinks. Native Amazonians solved this problem by clearing new fields every few years. Over time, their abandoned fields regained some of the fertility. If you would like to continue to use this in that no column, this is another thing that you can put in there, that the rainforest fields lose their fertility over time. And then you have to keep on moving, which means that this area up here would constantly be reorganized and be constantly being taken more over. If you still have any questions, please hit us up on the back channel chat or ask Miss Mahoney or myself.